You want a good girl who does bad things to you. Spice up your life, come and get a free alcohol. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl King Kamala 39 and oh my god, this is a mess. Welcome to week 2 of the Artist Way. This is my week 2. I'm taking y'all on my second artist date. I'm going into Manhattan and we're gonna go to this cute floral coffee shop and get some work done. I'm so glad she said the artist dates don't have to be anything crazy, because good lord, this is not gonna be. If you guys want to see more of a description about this book, The Artist Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity, it's basically a 12-week little program that I'm taking myself on to unlock higher creativity and calm my inner self. And side note, editing Kamala here, I had 2 different ideas for this week's video and I'm gonna test something new right here. I'm gonna have a description of this week's reading in the video. Stay tuned for the end, but I'm gonna take you guys on the artist date first and then we can sit down and we can discuss. I'm gonna put the timestamp in for where I actually start talking about that stuff here right now. Look at the screen. Yes, and we can get back into it. So I'm gonna show you the cutesy stuff first and then we're gonna sit down and chat. So far, it's been going really well. I've been having a lot of fun. It has been difficult to carve time out of my day to do all the readings, but I'm setting aside to do it, not that tall, to make sure that I get in everything that I want to. I have a lot of work to do because I'm working on my magazine that I'm launching at the end of March, baby. Woo! Yes, let's cheer. Let's cheer for that. Actually, applause. I have to put applause in here, because that has been a lot of work. That has been about 2 months in the making with the help of like 50 people. And I'm putting everything together, but then there's the people who submitted and like have been talking to me, and I've been doing interviews with them and all that good stuff. Baby, I'm so excited about that, but that's gonna be a separate video. So I have a lot of work to do. Goodness gracious, I forgot about this painting. Look at that, isn't that cute? It was supposed to be me, but my waist isn't quite so. Hold on, let me suck it in. I never looked like that. Whatever, we're getting focused. You see what I mean? We're getting off topic. That is partially why I'm going on this journey, because I think I may have slightly unmedicated attention deficit disorder. It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. Caribbean parents don't like to get you diagnosed when you're a child, and it's expensive to get diagnosed as an adult, so no meds for me. But I'm doing what I can with the brain that I have to stay on topic for the interest that I do have. And I want this book, I saw it on TikTok. Yeah, I saw it on TikTok. Okay. As a guideline to help me be able to do that. So you guys are coming on my artist date with me. That's what this series is. On TikTok, I talk a bit more about the actual like day-to-day of what I'm doing. And here, it's gonna be vlog style, artist dates. That's my version. That's how I keep it separate and keep it fun and funky fresh, baby. So, let's go. So I completely forgot that on Wednesdays and Saturdays there's a farmer's market in Union Square. So I accidentally caught the Wednesday one and decided that I was gonna look around. I was gonna have a good time. I was gonna have fun. The fro was throwing today. My hair was looking good. I went through 3 or 4 or 5 bottles of box dye to get it to look like that, and it still does not look the way I want it to, but whatever, we live. This first booth that I went to, it had all of, like a table full of just a bunch of silver rings. I really wish it was one of those you can buy as many as you can grab for like $10, but it wasn't. They were having a little sale though, and I did like the rings that I ended up with a lot. I ended up buying a star and a hand for my left hand because that's the way it was facing. And then it was like a barely 10 minute walk. I was walking slow away from the park in Union Square, and there it is, Ariston or Pariston. No, I don't think there's a P. I'm just confusing the the place, Paris, but it was gorgeous in there. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. Like when I see things on TikTok sometimes, I'm just, please ignore the people in the background, I'm not refilming this. I just feel like sometimes things on TikTok are overplayed and overdone, but this place was so cute and it smelled so good in there. Goodness. Like, I know it's a flower shop, it's supposed to smell good, but it smelled like orchids and roses and just delicious. And the food, what? One of the head chefs, cooks, people behind the counter put me onto this bologna sandwich. Y'all, let me tell you, I hate bologna. I literally have never in my life had a bologna sandwich that I liked until today. And I ordered their version of a mocha and ended up sitting down, getting some work done. I didn't record myself working on the magazine because, you know, I was working. I was doing some editing, and you guys are gonna get updates on that very soon. I did end up getting distracted by these two girls that I met. They're lovely. They're going to an art school in Manhattan. I won't say which one because, you know, that's their business, but they were really lovely, and one of them ended up drawing me. Sorry about that. I'm recording the voiceover outside and I do not have any other time to do this, so you're gonna hear a bit of park sounds and people in the background and people on their loud ass JBL speakers blasting music. Anyways, this was a good time. We're having a good time. I'm gonna show you guys the drawings that the girls did. One of them is an animation major, so it was very cartoony and cute. But yeah, it was a very good day overall. I apologize to myself because I did miss a week so far, and it's literally only 2 weeks in, but it's okay. I'm just gonna let myself post this one a little bit late to finish out the week I would have skipped, and then I'm gonna get back on top of it because overall 12 weeks is like 4 months. Wait, 12 divided by 3. Yeah, that sounds right. So I'm gonna get through most of it as I should. Okay, so you guys go follow me on TikTok, Instagram. This is the drawing, by the way, very cute. It was me and her friend talking. And follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe down below. It's your girl, King Kamala 39, and y'all are gonna watch me blow up like Doechii one day. Different field, but yeah, y'all get the vision. I'm gonna be a big award-winning actress one day, and you guys are gonna remember that y'all saw it first. There's a cute dog about to come over here, and I really hope it comes to me. Okay, bye. So today is week 2 for another update for The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. I keep forgetting every time I set up the camera to record, but I really wanted to talk to you guys about a few things that stood out to me in this week's reading, because I'm not gonna lie, I skipped a week. So I was trying to debate between skipping ahead to week 3 and then coming back to 2 towards the end, or to stay on schedule, or just reading with the flow, and I decided that reading with the flow makes more sense. So one of the things about this week's reading, and if you guys don't know, The Artist's Way is basically a book about unlocking your creativity spiritually, which is kind of in the title. It's what it sounds like. The Artist's Way, a spiritual path to higher creativity. That was the footnote. But one of the things of this week that she talks about is crazy makers. And crazy makers, I decided to write a little definition for myself. Crazy maker, things that make us crazy, but we cling to the comfort and using them as an excuse to not pursue art. That's basically exactly what it is. Things in our life that we could get rid of, but kind of choose not to, because there's always a comfort in the sense of using those things as an excuse to not keep going, you know? Actually, I'm gonna film this way because I might just make this a YouTube video. Sorry about that. You guys are gonna see a random flip in the phone, but you're gonna have to live with it, alright? Because I usually hate when a video is filmed between landscape and portrait mode, but this time it's gonna be done because I'm not restarting. So that's what crazy makers are, and this really stood out to me because I feel like I've done a pretty good job of letting go of things like this. I feel like I clock it really quickly when it comes to friendships and family relationships, but one of the things where one of the pitfalls for me was definitely romantic relationships. I would latch on to someone because I felt like that was the epitome of love, and that was more important than pursuing art the way I wanted to. Like, I would not pursue art in any way that would physically take me away from this person. And there were so many places that I wanted to go and see without them. So not being with them anymore is definitely a blessing in disguise. Well, it's not in disguise anymore. It's very much out in the open, but whatever. So that's what crazy makers are. And what else stood out to me about this week's reading? Okay, there's definitely something else. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna keep going with crazy makers because she made little footnotes about each one. Crazy makers expect special treatment. They suffer a wide panoply of mysterious ailments that require care and attention whenever you have a deadline looming. So that's like if you have a partner and you know, like, let's say you're in grad school and your partner doesn't like that you're in grad school, and all of a sudden, oh, I can't watch our child anymore. That's your job. You're supposed to do that. This person is expecting special treatment, especially if they had helped you before that. So something like that. Crazy makers discount your reality. Oh, I'm not the reason you're crazy. Oh, that thing you're going through isn't even that bad. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. I hate people like that. And it's not always romantic. Sometimes it's just people in your life. And once you start clocking it, it's hard to let go of it. I definitely have had to let go of people like this quite a few times in my life. Crazy makers, spend your time and money. I'm not even gonna lie, the money one, I did not fall into that trap often. I've fallen into it, but not that bad and not that much. The time one got me, because that's one of my love languages, is time spent together, whether it's romantic or not. So that one gets me. I hate when I wake up and realize I spent so much time with this person who didn't deserve it. But crazy makers triangulate those they deal with. This one is really interesting to me because I can't think of a time too much in life when... Yes, I can think of when this happened. Honestly, my parents used to do this all the time. But crazy makers triangulate those they deal with because crazy makers thrive on energy, your energy. They set people against one another in order to maintain their own power and position dead center. Okay, that sounds more toxic than I meant it to, but it's basically, it gives an example. That's when, like, a crazy maker will say, oh, so-and-so said that you were late to work today, and that might piss you off. So you go and you're angry at so-and-so for yapping behind your back about you, when the whole time it was the crazy maker who you should be angry at. Because why did they feel comfortable coming to you and talking about that? Actually, that was my parents are an example of that. I was thinking triangulation is something else, of like, oh, we're both mad at you for something, so we're both gonna come at you together. That's not triangulation. Yeah, that's something else. But yeah, I'm an only child, so I've definitely gotten in trouble with both parents coming down on me together at the same time for something I did or didn't do. We're not gonna get into that. Let's get back on topic. Another thing that they really talk about is skepticism, and that's basically saying that you, me, us, we, the artist in question, might be their own worst enemy, or someone that actually loves you might be, that looks crazy, might be your worst enemy. So you might be your own skeptic, your own, I'm wearing a shirt, it's just, if I don't sit a certain way, crap's gonna fall into the water. And water is what I feel most connected to most of the time. Water, in order, is probably water, earth, then fire, if I was going by signs. And air, actually, forgot about air. Because I love flying, I love being in the air. I used to work as a flight attendant, so it's probably water, air, earth, and fire. I'm just not in the air that often. That was a big side note, footnote. But yeah, self-skepticism or someone else being skeptical of your worth and your value is another thing that really stood out to me, and it's something you have to work on changing, fixing, honestly, or at least acknowledging. Because if you acknowledge that you're skeptical, then you can clock it, then you can probably just move past it. Just acknowledge, like, your brain went there. Like, if I say, oh, I'm an artist that's paid what I'm worth, and I immediately get skeptical about like, well, no, I'm not, or no, I'm not deserving. Acknowledge that my mind blurted that out, and bow! She doesn't say to do that. I'm saying to do that. Acknowledge that that came up, pow, that thought, and then move past it. The last one is also something that definitely gets me, and it's attention. And she clocked me in like the first line. Very often a creative block manifests itself as addiction to fantasy. Y'all just saw me go on like between 5 and 10 video rant about Love in Deep Space, which is a fantasy game. My whole TikTok account, every video that goes viral is usually about like Marvel or anime or Love in Deep Space. Fantasy is my bread and butter, baby. I was one of those kids that would literally spend weeks in a dream world, but because I could get my work done, my parents never clocked that as an attention deficit problem. Well, they say girls aren't diagnosed as easily because I wasn't that hyperactive as a kid. Whatever, we're not going into life story. But yeah, my attention span is definitely shot. TikTok doesn't help. Ironic, but the government might be taking that anyways. That's why I decided I need to film this way, because I'm only gonna post part of it on TikTok and part of it on YouTube. Right, so the government, we're not talking about the government right now. I'm only gonna think about what I can control right in this moment, and that is myself and my inner artist, not the people in office. Okay, hey. So attention span is something that I definitely need to work on. I have not done the okay, I'm gonna have to get a thumbnail in here somewhere. Week 3, no, week 2. Yep, leave it in the back. Walk away, walk away, walk away. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to... Oh, there was something in week 1 that I said I was trying to work on. I said it last week, and that's filming in public. I'm in public right now, and people have definitely been watching me from across the pond this whole time. Every time someone walks by, they glance, but I didn't die, right? I said that last week. Progress already, well, 2 weeks ago, because I skipped it. Ew, it was fitted before. No, we have to fix that. No! No, I can't do the intro looking shapeless. Good Lord. I fought years for this. Y'all are gonna see it.